Hello, welcome to the Chrissy B Show. And Excel and myself, we've just had a little dance, haven't we?
We have been dancing indeed.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
It's nice to see you here.
Same
Just
here.
brighten up the studio as usual.
Oh, thank you, my love.
Should we tell the viewers what we've got on for today?
Absolutely.
All right, we do have quite a packed show today too. We have our fitness tip, of course, from the lovely Jane Wrafter on the advantages of outdoor exercise. I'll also be speaking to Neomi Bennett, nurse and founder of a revolutionary product which may help to prevent deep vein thrombosis. We also have our weekly fashion tips by the gorgeous Cynthia Gregoire. And I'll also show you an interview with Alessandro Bay, who's the executive chef at Diciannove restaurant that recently won an award, and I got to sample the food, of course, as I always do. And my mummy went along too because she's been visiting me from Cyprus. And I'll also be answering a question from a viewer. But first of all, of course, we do have the news with the lovely Excel.
Oh, my darling.
Have got some interesting stuff for us today.
Well,
nothing sad, I hope.
I do try to always, bring some sensational
Nothing about the World
stuff.
Cup. Nothing about bad news. We want good stuff here and interesting and quirky.
All right, I shall start off. Well, I think I need to start off with a good cause. I think I should. I thought I'd mention it because there is the advert for it all over the place. I see it on trains and stuff nowadays. Macmillan Cancer Support are having a. We had the last thing that went viral online. That was no makeup selfie. Yes. Only that one was not launched by the cancer charity. It was just some random person and it just caught on.
Yeah.
Exactly. But this time around, Macmillan are actually doing a cancer support thing called Shave or Style.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, and you
What
can.
did I see? I think it was on the tube.
Probably, yeah, because it's on. I've seen it on trains and stuff as well. So I think it's the guys need to shave and then the women need to style their hair and just sort of like do something outrageous to support somebody who has cancer and obviously raise awareness. And it also would involve making a donation of £3, just like they did with the no makeup selfie. So hopefully this catches on because it's going to be highlighted for the 3rd week of July. And, it's sort of like a fundraiser thing. And I just hope it raises just as much.
My husband shaved his head once for charity.
Did he?
He looked so weird.
Oh, no. Did he look really, really weird?
Yeah. And he felt funny as well. He's never shaved his head like completely.
It was completely.
Completely.
Did he oil it? Was it summer? Did he walk out and he was glistening?
It wasn't summer, no.
Oh, see, that would have been a look.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Did you take pictures?
We did. While he was taking it all off as well.
I think you should send it to me.
No.
I could do something with that photo.
No way. No chance, Excel. I know what you're like.
I just aim to deliver news to my wonderful guests.
But his hair grew back really quickly, which was the good news.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I think
I still fancied him, of course, but...
Well, of course you would. Of course you would. But at least it was for a good cause, which is good. Yes. Lovely. Another bit of cheerful news now that I've got here is there was a pilot in America who he's a pilot of airlines known as Frontier Airlines, and they were going around the country. It was a domestic flight, and they were grounded. I forget which town now. I haven't got it here. They were grounded because of some severe storms. So everybody was sort of sitting around waiting. Oh, what's happening now? And then all of a sudden, the pilot announced that even though the airline is known for being cheap, that he, the captain, is not cheap. And whilst they were there waiting, being grounded by the storm, he ordered Domino's pizzas for all of them. There were 160 people on the flight, and he ordered 35 pizzas for all of them. And of course, they were...
That's not enough.
Well, it must have been. We're talking about America, darling, not England. So we're talking like massive sizes, probably like slices of 20.
Think of these little boxes that you get over here.
No, it's not the little ones we have here, my love. Yeah, super size is really super size over there. Yes.
I've got to go to America one day.
You might not want to come back when you see their food portion sizes because it might just be right up your street. You wouldn't want to come back in.
I'd just share with my husband, wouldn't I?
Would you really, though?
I reckon we'll just get one meal and share, yeah.
All right, okay. I'll hold you to that when it happens. So, but yeah, they had a jolly old time, and shortly after they had the pizzas, the flight was cleared to go, which was pretty good. And a little bit of another news here, leading on from the money theme. A thrifty bride spent some very generous amount of money on her wedding. She was able to get. Actually, I think I should ask you first, how much do you think an average wedding would cost? Or how maybe you want to tell us how much yours cost?
I won't tell you how much mine cost because that was a real budget one. Because I had a few issues at the time when I got married because I had a few family problems, and like a lot of family didn't come, and
oh no,
yeah, all that stuff. So it wasn't really the wedding, but a typical wedding would probably.
A typical.
I think they're about 12 to 20,000.
Right. Okay.
I kind of blew all my money on the honeymoon to the Maldives. Stuff everything else.
That made up for it then, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, this lovely bride, she spent £20 on her bridesmaids' dresses, and spent £20
each.
Well, it just said she spent £20 for all the dresses. It didn't say how many bridesmaids she had. There was not that information in the report. And she also spent £20 on flowers.
Really?
And altogether, everything included, I totaled everything up, and she spent a total of £3,800 for 120 guests in Yorkshire.
What does she feed them?
It didn't say. Mashed potatoes and peas.
Probably.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to sound offensive. However, I thought that's a very good move. I mean, I'm thinking this includes the dress, because I mean, I think I remember did a news report one time where there was a dress in Asda for £40. A wedding dress was £40 in Asda. So my girl could have probably taken advantage.
Mine. From what I remember, that cost about £400 to £500. Because I'm not going to wear it again. What's the point of buying it and keeping it? I'm not like the kind of person that hoards things. So
but I don't know if I would buy a £40 dress though. It's a special day.
If something's really nice and it's £40, then you know. But if it's not, Excel, do you mind if I just ask the viewers something? Because and you can give me your opinion about. I know you've got more news, but we're going to have the last part of the show too. Right. Do you remember on the last show I was talking about those naked bike riders, and I asked the viewers what it was all about. If anyone knew, I actually looked it up.
Okay.
Have you ever seen them around?
I don't think I have. No.
Naked, like on completely starkers, completely nothing, no underwear, nothing. And I was really shocked, I have to say, when I saw it. So I looked up the reason why there were these like 50 cyclists, male and female, completely naked, riding around London. And it was to raise awareness, I remember what it was now, that, you know, cycling is a much more environmentally friendly way of getting around, and the you know, how cars are really bad for you and stuff like that. And I thought, well, I think there are other ways of making the same point. I mean, you could at least put some underwear on. And I was actually quite offended by it, because I don't really want to see everyone's bits. Like, because it's like you just all of a sudden you just see them out. So I'd just like to hear from our viewers as well. I'd like you to email me and give your opinion. No, I understand the cause, and I think it's a great cause, but I think you could have had the same effect while wearing chicken costumes or something.
Exactly.
And all the kids around, look, honestly, even the kids were just looking like they were staring. I'd like to hear your opinion, please. Do email me on chris@chrissybshow.tv if you think it was a great idea, or if you found it a little bit too much. I'd just like to hear, you know, what you have to say. You can Facebook as well, The Chrissy B Show. What do you think, Excel?
I just think that not a lot of things make me lost for words, but that's just one of them. Like, really, like you said, they could have worn chicken costume or something.
At least underwear.
Exactly.
But,
wear like I don't know, bright neon pink pants or something.
That would have also caught attention, but just like. It's a worldwide thing.
You know what? I think it was just some nudist just trying to get in there.
No, it's a proper organised event, and it's done all over the world apparently. Yeah. I just hope they don't share bikes. That's all I can say.
Oh, the horror. Oh,
anyway, moving swiftly on, but I really would like to hear our viewers' opinion. Is it just me? Am I being a prude, or is it, you know?
Oh my gosh.
You guys think? What do you guys think? Not good. Not good. Camera people.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Anyway, let's move on.
Oh, well, okay. I'll end this bit then with a bit of I suppose, feel-good news.
Yes.
A 911 dispatcher. As in, you know, over there in America, this is an American story. Over there, they have, you know, people call in, blah, 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 and they then send them out, you know, depending on what they need, police, fire engine and all that business. And so this woman was actually training somebody else who was new on the job, and a call came in, and so she's answering it, teaching the person how to answer and all that, and found out that with the person who had made the call, when they mentioned the address, it was actually her house.
Oh.
And it was actually her son, who was having, I think he fell off. Where did he fell off? He fell off. Oh, well, he was having an accident. He was choking, basically. And he had fallen off something. He was playing or something. And he choked.
Oh, no.
It was actually her address. And so she was like, okay, hold on a minute. This is my address. This is my family. But she remained very calm. and she still showed the new person how to take the call, how to send the dispatchers out, send the police, send this for the ambulance, send this. She actually remained quite calm because she said she had to say to herself, you know, if you don't know the person, you have to be just as passionate or just as helpful, you know. So she had to take away the sort of emotion out of it that it was her son, and she just had to concentrate. And she actually got an award for that because she was quite exemplary in her way of delivery, in her way of still being able.
Can you imagine how she felt though? Her heart must have been pounding.
Exactly. And I was just thinking to myself, I don't know what, because it was literally a case of, because they normally just talk you through if you need to do any first aid, and she still calmly just said,
good on her.
very calm, very calm nerves. Obviously, she was still like, But I think this is the reason why they often say that doctors and any sort of medical, you can't really treat your family because you're so involved in it, and you're thinking.
As much as you try not to be, but you don't know how you'd react.
Exactly.
In that situation.
But you would kind of be like, oh my God, my son. Yeah. You would really be like you can't really entirely shut yourself.
Takes a lot of self-control.
So
my love, you can come back, aren't you?
I will gladly.
Please don't run off, because the viewers need you for the last part of the show, okay?
Certainly.
All right, so do stay tuned, because after the break, I'll be talking to Neomi Bennett, founder of the product that helps prevent deep vein thrombosis. I did forget the name of it, but NeoSlip, that's it. So we'll be seeing that after the break.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back. Now, before I meet my guests, let's take a look at this fitness tip from Jane Wrafter on outdoor training.
Hi everyone, it's Jane here with your fitness tips. As you can see, I'm in the beautiful outdoors. We're blessed in Britain with loads of parks, and I guarantee that somewhere near you, you'll have a beautiful park to go and get some exercise. Even if you have to drive to the park and then have your workout, do that. If you need to do that to fit it in time-wise, then go for it. So I just want to talk to you a little bit about the advantages of outdoor exercise. I mean, as you can see, this is a beautiful place. And you know, it has a positive effect on the mind when you're in a beautiful, calm, restful place like this. You get fresh air, and the exercise can feel a lot more enjoyable, especially in summer, and we're just coming up to summer now. So why not make the most of the lighter evenings when you get in from work, the warm weather, and get out there and enjoy the fresh air. So a few things just to think about before you embark on outdoor fitness. One is, if you do go out in the heat, bear in mind you'll need a lot more water than you normally do. Even inside at the gym, you're going to need more water. So it's worth, if you're in a park, take a really big stash of water and maybe just hide it somewhere in a bush or under a tree or something, so that if you go off and you do some exercise, you can come back and your water's there, and a towel or whatever. That's what I do when I go running. I hide my stuff at the beginning of the run. And also you might want to think about sun cream. You still burn when you're running, not just lying flat on the floor on the beach. You will burn if you run in direct sun, so it's really worth sun cream. It's worth thinking about maybe having a hat, protect your face, protect the crown of the head. That can make a really big difference. If you suffer from allergies, don't forget to take your antihistamine before you go out. You're amongst all the pollen, and the last thing you want is to have to go home because you're full of sneezes and you can't breathe properly. So those are things to think about. Think about layering up as well, because I've got a jacket on now, but once I start exercising, I'm going to get really hot. When I stop, I'm going to get cold again. So you really do need layers. What I often do is just tie my long sleeve jacket around my waist, say if I'm running around a park, take it off and put it on and off as I need it. Another really important thing to think about is what you put on your feet, okay? So I'm going to show you what kind of shoes you need. Now, if you look at my shoes, they are offering me some really good support. So what I've got here is I've got some really good impact reducing heels. I've not got thin heels. Don't run in Converse shoes or thin pumps. It's really bad for your feet. You need some really good support. And you want shoes that are nice and spongy around the ankle and that give you ankle support. Another interesting thing, guys, is that I would say 9 out of 10 people that I meet, that I work with, don't tie their shoelaces tight enough. So get down to your shoes and pull your laces through. Your feet should feel snug inside the shoe. You shouldn't have lots of movement inside your shoe. So get your shoelaces nice and tight. It's worth investing in good shoes, and interestingly, it's better to have a new pair of cheapish running shoes, say 30 quid, than a really old, expensive, worn out pair of expensive shoes, because the internal supports wear out even if they look all fancy on the outside. So I'm going to do a few more clips over the next few episodes, more ideas for your outdoor fitness, but go and get yourself some trainers and I'll see you next time.
Welcome back. So now I'm going to introduce to you Neomi.
Hello.
Surname?
Bennett.
Bennett, yep, because the thing the autocorrect wasn't up. Sorry, guys. Neomi Bennett, everybody. How are you, my love?
I'm very well, thank you.
So it's good to have you here, because you're going to talk to us about something very, very important, which is deep vein thrombosis, and also telling us about a product that you designed to help with that. So first of all, for the viewers that don't know, what is DVT?
DVT stands for deep vein thrombosis, and that's a blood clot which can develop in the deep veins of a person's legs.
And how does it develop?
How does it develop? Your heart works in two, and the heart first beat pushes the blood down to your toes, and then in your calves you've got something called a peripheral heart, which is the second part of your heart, and it helps to bring the blood back up to your circulation.
Okay. Now let me just explain to the viewers that Neomi is also a nurse. Right,
I'm a registered nurse practitioner.
So you know she does know what she's talking about here. So basically, when that happens, what damage does it do to you?
It can cause a clot. It can cause a clot, and the clot can come away from the deep veins and make its way to your brain or to your lungs, and it's fatal. It can cause death. At the moment in the UK, 25,000 people are dying of deep vein thrombosis.
Wow. That's a big number, isn't it?
Definitely.
Okay then. Now obviously we hear, like, you know, sort of health news and stuff like that about doing your exercises when you're on long haul flights and sort of moving around and stuff like that. But they also introduced those quite tight socks.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what do you think of those?
Yeah, basically NeoSlip has been designed to help put the stockings on. The stockings work by putting pressure onto that peripheral heart.
Okay.
To keep the blood moving, because when it becomes stagnant, that's when the clots can form, and the idea is you keep the blood flowing. So anybody who's had an operation is often given these stockings, and they're prescribed them for 6 weeks afterwards. But yeah, the very nature of them is tight. Would you like to have a go? Right, I tell you what.
Well, I wasn't expecting that on the show. Don't do any close-ups of my feet, please.
Right, so
I will do it on there.
Right, so. For example, somebody has a knee operation or a hip operation, they are prescribed these stockings for 6 weeks afterwards. Especially the elderly people find them particularly quite difficult to put them on. So I'll let you do a demonstration. So this is the sock, and this is
a normal sock that they give in the hospitals.
Yeah, that's a DVT stocking. So if you just imagine that I'm like an 80-year-old lady,
and obviously you want to be very gentle.
Please be very gentle with my leg.
So I would be. That is quite hard to, oh my gosh, probably break your foot.
It's very difficult, and for a nurse, like putting these on every day, it's quite...
I would actually be quite scared to even force that on.
Yeah, no, it is really difficult. So what I did is I've developed NeoSlip. NeoSlip, because these stockings, the friction on you're fighting with friction, because they have to be high friction to put pressure on this pump to get the blood circulating. We try and have a good circulation. So I developed NeoSlip, which comes in 3 colour-coded sizes, and older person or the nurse will put this on the patient first. So this time you can try it again. You don't even have to
Oh wow, look at that. Oh my God, that's such a... Wow, what a difference.
Yeah, so all the stockings are open toe, because as a nurse, you have to be able to check the toes to make sure the blood's flowing, and then you take the NeoSlip out.
That is such a simple solution. And like, after all those years of like people like basically forcing socks on and then this is the interesting thing. This is what I love about people like you, Neomi, because there are people that will say, oh, you know what, this thing isn't working, and you know, there must be a better way of doing it, but then they don't sort of go away and think about a better way of doing it. But you actually went away, you thought about it, and you came up with something. Yeah. And now it's even been accepted by the NHS.
Yeah, I've got NeoSlip into some NHS hospitals, some private hospitals, some nursing homes, and NeoSlip has won 14 awards, and we sell NeoSlip internationally. We've got a distributor in Austria, and we sell also in some pharmacies, some local pharmacies. But I was a student nurse. I was studying at Kingston University, and I was given a risk assessment essay, and I just noticed a lot of older people weren't able to put their stockings on, and it kind of felt like I had to do something about it, especially one elderly couple.
It was just so simple to put on.
It makes it a lot easier. The feedback from nurses is brilliant. And
how does that make you feel, knowing that you've helped so many people?
Yeah, no, it's a really good feeling. Yeah, because I'm a mature student when I went back to university, and I've got 3 children, so I've had lots of challenges, and so we've
So you must be really, really happy about it. And what's the feedback that you've got, just before we go, from people that use the
feedback is wonderful. Old people call me and say how great it is, and now they can put their stockings on, so it reduces the struggle, and nurses are asking for NeoSlip to be made more widely available.
Brilliant.
So that's what I'm working on at the moment.
Okay. Now, you don't have to say what it is, but do you have any other products sort of?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've started. I've actually pulled the team together, so we're working on new products. So
brilliant. That's excellent. So, just before you go, any advice that you would give to someone that does have an idea for something? What the first step is?
I think the first thing to do is maybe talk about it to other people and get some independent feedback. Just get feedback from colleagues and friends, and also patients, because patients are really good at expressing what they want to nurses and telling you what they don't like. So you can actually use those ideas and come up with solutions.
Yeah. And the good thing about you, obviously, you were first of all observant. You were looking at what was going on, but you also actually spent the time to listen to people.
Yeah, I think as well, another thing, because nurses struggle to put these stockings on within the hospital environment, and there's nothing widely and easily available. Some nurses have been reported to be using carrier bags, because they've got no choice, and that's the only way they can get them onto patients, which is not really
I wanted to ask you why the different colours quickly.
Oh right, NeoSlip comes in 3 colour-coded sizes depending on the patient's size. Because some patients' feet are quite large, so obviously we will need enough lubrication to slide the stocking in place.
Right, brilliant. It's so lovely talking to you. Thank you so much for enlightening us and showing us that great idea that you had. Thank you so much. Okay, so do stay tuned, because after the break I'm going to be joined by Cynthia Gregoire with her styling tips.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back. Now, you all know by now that food makes me really happy, and going to restaurants is something that I really love to do. So this next video is my trip to Diciannove restaurant with my mother. So let's take a look. Today I'm outside the Diciannove restaurant, about to speak to head chef Alessandro about some of his signature dishes, and we'll also be sampling some. So now we're trying the antipasti, and as you can see, it's a meal in itself. So we've got different things here like fried courgette, we've got fried octopus here, artichokes and porcini mushrooms, so everything's really, and obviously the selection of meats here. So I think we're going to get quite full up just from the antipasti, but let's see how we go. So now I'm here with the head chef Alessandro Bay at Diciannove. Thank you so much for a fabulous meal. It was amazing.
Thank you very much for coming, and I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Now, obviously you have a history of cooking, but you wanted to cook from when you were quite young. You knew it was a dream of yours, didn't you? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, obviously cooking it's always been my passion. Mostly I got it from my grandmother and my mother. I gained my experience in many places. I started in Italy, obviously, and then I moved to other states like Belgium, and finally in 2000 I arrived in London. You got amazing chefs all around, and well, I have to say one of my favorite one is Giorgio Locatelli. It was an amazing experience for me, and it was, I would say, the peak of my apprenticeship with Giorgio. Yes.
Now you're the head chef here, and you've got some signature dishes. Can you tell us about those?
Yeah, we got a new menu which started today. The most popular one is the fresh spaghetti with lobster, and also we have the rack of lamb. We have another dish which is the sea bream, which is very, very typical Italian. We call it sea bream all'acqua pazza, crazy water, and is made out of the fish stock and olives, capers, and tomatoes. Fantastic flavor. I'm glad to say that a couple of weeks ago we've been awarded 2AA Rosette, which was a fantastic achievement for us and for the restaurant. And yeah, well, you know, it's very, very tough journey that you have to face, but if you really put your passion in it, you will succeed sooner or later.
Thank you so much, Alessandro. I'm so hungry right now, aren't you, Cynthia? That food was amazing. I can't describe it. It was just brilliant. But you're going to talk to us about fashion now, Cynthia, aren't you?
Yes, and actually it's quite cool because I'm carrying on with the Italian theme today.
Oh, great.
So, yes.
Okay.
You know what, though? Let's start by talking about our outfits at first. So if I could get you to stand, Chrissy. Today I've styled Chrissy, and we're still spring-summer, in some mother snakeskin printed pants and a Vivienne Westwood top. Again, we can see that asymmetrical draping is still on trend for right now in the season. And I've paired it off with a lovely Mrs. Robinson neck statement piece necklace. So that's your look.
I love this look. Thank you.
For myself, I have this silk Italian dress done by Luisa Spagnoli. And this is an Italian designer that's been around since 1928. Mm-hmm. And I have to say, to excel at this dress was £40, and I love it.
Wow.
I did find
bargain. But she always finds a bargain, this one.
So yes, it's 100% silk, and it's going to go with our Italian theme today.
Wow, okay.
Yes. So we can have a seat again. All right, so I just have a few images from the V&A. I went to view the Glamour of Italian Fashion exhibition, and it was covering the period from 1945 to 2014. So we're looking at 70 years of Italian fashion.
Wow, okay.
Since the post-war times. So if we could just look at the very first image here. All right, so I got to sit down with Lucia, who is the museum curator, and she was telling me all about the history of this exhibition and how it came to be. And basically it's a result of 2 years of research and her flying all over Italy and the United States and kind of going on a treasure hunt to find these items that ended up in the exhibition, because she needed to tell the story through about 100 garments or less. So this first image here, it was Elizabeth Taylor in Bulgari, it's called, Jewels. So this was really a symbol for Italy in the 1950s, when Rome and Italy really became a symbol for fashion and glam. Wow. Right? Because they were always sort of competing with Paris to be that fashion capital. The next image I have here is just a typical Italian fashion garment. So what do you think about that, Chrissy? Would you be wearing that out?
I can't see it very well from here.
It's a bright fuchsia and green dress.
I like the colours, but that's all I can see from this distance. Sorry, Cynthia. I should have checked these before.
Well, the main point that about Italian fashion is just the quality of the textiles. So you've got these like brilliant silks and wools and leathers that the country's become known for, and just the colour and the draping and the
the attention to detail in the textile that eventually becomes the garment.
Okay.
So watch for those things. The next image
I can see that one. That's nice.
I really love this one. And Italian fashion.
Like medieval times, isn't it?
Yeah, I would wear that today. Italian fashion's all about pushing the limits of extravagance. So you can see there with the belt, and then they've got the print, and then they have the bell sleeves, and it's just it's pushing it, your limits, like how far are you going to go, kind of thing.
Wow.
So I really loved that one. It's all about looking good effortlessly. So Lucia was telling me about how her grandmother, was 90 years old and wouldn't go down to the shop to get milk without lipstick.
Aww.
And it's always,
That's
never be
nice.
caught, just running out in sweatpants or something like that. So that's why the Italians always look so good, I think.
That's true, they do.
Next image here is actually, look at those babies. Those are Dolce & Gabbana.
Lovely.
And again, just looking at the detail, like they truly are a museum piece. And just the attention to detail and all the hand work that went into those.
The next, amazing.
Would you wear them?
Yes. Well, if I could.
I would wear them.
If I didn't snap the heel, yes.
The next image is just one of the old-time fashion shows, and you can imagine before media is that easy, as it is today, what they had to go through to get all the international press and buyers to come take a look at that.
Gosh,
and
it's a step in history, that is.
It is. Is there any more images, or I think that was it?
Is that all the images?
I think that was it.
Oh no.
Oh, we have, yes, Valentino.
How could you forget Valentino?
I have a piece by him today. Valentino in the 1950s, studied in Paris and still going strong today.
Wow,
he was in Vogue Festival, actually. So.
Wow. Okay,
all right.
so now you've got some stuff to show us.
Yes, I do, actually. On the rack, do we want to?
Okay.
Can we start?
Yeah, we can start from the rail.
Okay. I'll just go here. All right, so just the things that we talked about. Here, again, like Tuscany is known for the quality of leather, so just give that a feel and take a look at the
soft. Yeah, that's nice.
So that, and we have this Dolce & Gabbana overcoat jacket, and you can just see here the flash of red. There's that attention to detail and just that glamour.
And that nice sort of that different material on the inside as well. See that, guys? It's lovely.
I missed that, and the removable collar.
I'm paying attention to the detail, like you taught me.
I'd like to highlight an Italian designer, MSGM, and they specialize in streetwear for Italy, designer from Italy. And you can just see here, these are some of the lovely print jumpers that they have for the spring, summer season.
What would you pair that with?
I would put this with jeans or shorts.
And heels?
Heels, you could, yes, you could do a casual shoe as well, but yes, I would definitely put those with jeans. Just another jumper here. MSGM is really about like wearable street fashion.
Right, okay.
Yes. I have a piece by Versace here. I love this one. I got this in like 2006 in Australia, but you can see the print and you see how it fades into another print.
Yeah, that's really nice.
It's got the racer back, and the Italians love to put their big brand names on things. So there we have Versace. Another dress by MSGM, and you can just see here the detailing that you see on that. It's just not conventional, right? I also have a couple pieces of menswear done by the same designer. So you can just see the fabric is it's not just a black jacket. I've got my first bits of autumn winter 14 popping up here. You can see the color palette looks like deep greens. We've got a tartan or plaid shirt, let's call it, and some trousers. Spring, summer, they did a more brighter color. So like a sky blue. That's nice. Would your husband wear those?
Probably not, no. Probably wear the green ones. Yeah, a bit light for him, I think.
This piece is amazing. This is my first Valentino purse. And you got
so cute.
Dip-dyed feathers and basically just, I mean, you couldn't fit a lot in there, but that's not the point, right? It's just to
Can we get a close-up, guys? Everyone's got to see this bag. It's just so cute. Who should hold it? Just before we go to the break. Right, where's my close-up? Is it this way? Hang on a minute. There you go. Look at that.
Dip-dyed feathers and just like hand sewn on.
Gorgeous, I love that. All right, Cynthia, just hold on, because we're going to go to a quick break, and then we're going to come back because we just need to finish this stuff over here because you've got to talk about these.
Okay.
Definitely. All right, and then we'll also be back with Excel, and I'll be answering a question from a viewer. So please don't go away.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show. Always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back. Now we're going to go to Cynthia in just a second, but I'm just going to answer this question from a viewer. I'm not sure if this person's put their name. No, oh, Junior, yeah, the name is Junior. And he says, "Hi Chrissy, for over 10 years I've been taking cocaine. I've tried to stop but don't have the strength, but now me and my girlfriend have the chance to move away from London to Nottingham. I know there are drugs everywhere, but I believe being away from certain people, it will be a bit manageable. The problem is my family are giving me such a hard time about moving so far. I used to steal from them and did terrible things. I'm just trying to get better, but how do I do that and please them also? What would you do, Chrissy?" Now, first of all, Junior, I'd like to say thanks so much for being so brave, for writing into us in the first place, and it's great that you've been trying to stop. Now, I know you want to make a fresh start, but to be honest, I think moving areas is not actually going to solve the problem, as like you said, drugs are everywhere. Yes, you're getting away from certain people, but these like certain people are in fact everywhere. Now, from your email, it sounds like you're actually trying to do this on your own when you don't need to. There's lots of organisations and charities that can help you. I know one, for example, called Addiction Cleansing Therapy that has helped lots of people, turn their lives around and give up all sorts of addictions. Now, you mentioned wanting to make your family happy. I think what will make them really happy is to see you better and accepting help. So definitely let people help you. Find an organisation that's right for you, that's got experience in helping addicts. And the great thing is you are already determined to change your life, which is, I think, the very first step and the biggest step for your recovery. But if you want more information about addiction cleansing therapy sessions or any other organisation that will help you, please do get in touch again. But definitely, I think you're on the right track. And like I said, I don't think moving area is the solution, but rather getting the right help to get you on your feet again. That would be great to do. So I do hope that's helped, Junior. And if you guys at home have a question for me, you can email me on chris@chrissybshow.tv. Excel, did you have another news item for us before we walk over to Cynthia?
I know, yes I do. Again, sort of like keeping with the theme of weddings, really, I thought I'll bring this news up because I found it quite interesting. You obviously knew your husband for a while before you married him, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, if, for example, you weren't married, would you be interested in taking part in an experiment that would mean you would marry someone the minute you met them?
Of course not.
Well, this is research. This is some sort of, I don't know if I should call it research really, but I suppose in a way it is research, because this is a situation that has now been set up for TV in the US to say that is it really, can people really be compatible based on having checked out their, you see, you kind of, obviously people sort of like, how, in a way like online dating, how you say I like this or I like that, etc. So three couples, a team of experts, including a sexologist, which I assume is somebody who is a psychologist in sexual matters. Never heard that term before, but anyway, they paired up three different couples and based on their personality profiles, and they have agreed to be legally married, not a joke, legally married for the first time they meet each other, and the show is actually called Married at First Sight. And they will actually get married, and at the end of, it's going to be like, viewers will see them like a bit like how we have Big Brother, I suppose, and viewers will get to see at the end of 9 episodes whether or not they have chosen to stay together or get divorced.
Now, when you say they get married, they already
it's actually legally binding
and act like a married couple already.
I suppose, yeah, all the works, yeah. They would actually be legally married on the show.
I'd be interested to watch the programme, because obviously surveys and things like that, they're good to give some kind of indication, but I don't think that's the be-all and end-all of everything. You have to talk to the person and...
Well, yeah, this is the thing. But I suppose in this day and age where people sort of talk about how, it's hard to meet the right one, etc., they're trying to try... in the sense of, they're looking at it from the sense of, is it really possible? Because I think what it's looking at is there's a social side of it. Is it really possible to say you get along on paper, you tick every box on paper, is it really possible to get along with a person in real life? Interestingly, someone has already said that he's met a lot of beautiful women, but there's something about the one he got paired with. He says, I've met a lot of beautiful girls, but there's something about her, I can't explain it. With her, she has it.
Okay, that could be a fluke.
Is it possible to have it? Who knows?
Well, I'll be interested to watch the programme, but I think this is a bit silly, to be honest.
Well, yes, and I'm tending to agree with you, but at the end of the day, I suppose when people want to be proven, they want to prove a certain line, I suppose it's, innocent until proven guilty, I like to say.
So we shall watch with bated breath, right? So we've got time for one more before we go over to Cynthia.
Well, okay, I just thought I'd highlight, I mean, I don't know how she's going to do it because the tallest teenager in the world has been named as you want to guess how tall she is?
No.
7 foot.
Wow.
7 foot. She's 17. She's a Turkish girl.
How tall are you, Jakarta?
6'3".
He's 6 foot. Our cameraman's 6'3" and he's really tall.
There you go. So add 9 more inches on top of him, and she's 17, and she has been awarded the Guinness World Record in a special presentation in her hometown in Safranbolu. I hope I said that right for our Turkish viewers. Apparently, her height is caused by Weaver's syndrome, which is a rare genetic disorder that causes bones to grow rapidly.
Oh, we needed a picture of that one.
Well, it couldn't fit on the screen.
Oh, right, okay. Nice excuse, Excel. Well done. She's so sharp. Should we go over to Cynthia now?
Certainly.
On that note, before I give her a smack. Not Cynthia, you, by the way. All right, let's go over. All right, so Cynthia, you had a few more things to
Just
share.
before we start, I just wanted to say thank you. Shout out to Lucia and Lucy and Zoe from the V&A Museum. They treated me really well.
Okay.
So
Thank you for looking after Cynthia so well.
Okay, so just to talk a little bit about footwear and accessories, as Italy is very renowned for such. You're never going to find another better pair of boots than Italian leather boots, I'm telling you. And this is, I brought in a few of my favorite pairs that I actually have bought from Italy. So we have just like a yellow leather one. These ones have a little bit of string detail there, so you can imagine when you're walking. Those are fun.
So be tempted to pull them though, I think. Person behind you, but they're very nice.
These ones here, I don't know, this is like an impulse buy, but these ones here are gold cowboy
The thing is,
boots.
have you worn them, Cynthia?
Once.
Really?
Once, yeah.
Once? Okay.
And these green ones are amazing as well too. And it's just like,
those
again,
are- I
it's
love
that textile and the attention to detail and
we
the
get a close-up of
craftsmanship. Those of you who have owned Italian leather boots, you'll know what I mean. There's just no one else in the world makes them better. And that
Lovely.
is the truth.
Okay.
My last pair of footwear here I'd like to talk about. They come from spring, summer 2008, and I actually worked a whole summer just to pay for them. My first.
She said that really quietly.
Yeah,
Did you hear what she just said? She worked a whole summer to pay for these. But
These are done by Prada. Aren't they lovely though?
Yeah,
they're hand-painted heels, and basically they came from the floral collection. And when you actually put your feet in them, they're supposed to simulate the petals of a flower, so you can actually see that this is part of the flower, and then the heels there. So
it's lovely.
it's like art on your foot.
Art on your foot.
Yeah, art on. And the last thing we'll just play around with today is the sunglasses. So I have a couple pairs by Gucci, Prada, and Versace. So
What should I put on?
What?
I want Versace. Where's Versace? I got Prada. Okay.
cool.
I got Gucci.
Gucci aviators, lovely.
Come on now.
And do these match with what I'm wearing?
Yeah, they do actually. They look really good. So, anyways, always and don't forget the sunglasses.
Oh yes, always look on the bright side of life.
And what are these ones?
Those ones are also Versace too.
Versace. I think
Yeah.
these are nice
Yeah.
too. Okie dokie. Thank
Okay,
you so
so
much, Cynthia.
I hope you're
Did you have
inspired.
more?
No, I don't.
That's it?
I'm
Okay,
actually
all right
done for
then. I love
today,
those
so-
on you, by the way. Oh, have you had fun, Excel?
I have. Can I keep
Alright.
these?
No.
Only if you'd wear a 40-pound dress.
Yeah, they were having a little debate. Don't know
knock
if you
the
guys
dress.
wondering what all this is about. But anyway, we've reached the end of the show. Thank you so much, participants. Thank you, Excel, for
Thank
giving the
you.
news. And please do tune in again next time on the Chrissy B Show. But if you want more information about anything about the show and also the guests that we've had on, please do visit the website chrissybshow.tv, and you can also visit the Facebook page where we have all the photos of our guests and behind the scenes pictures too, and that's the Chrissy B Show. And of course, if you have a question for me, or if you have a success story, for example, that you'd like to share, do email me on chris@chrissybshow.tv. Well, bye for now.